So I'm in the room that I stay in while I'm up here, and I mean, it looks extra small on this, like it fits a queen bed. Not that I have one, I have a twin bed in here, but everything is just really weird when I try to film here. But I have a stack of books that I keep here. I'm actually giving them away soon, but they're really good ones. So let's do some book chat. Let's start with actually, before we start, if you have not hit the subscribe, please do. It helps my channel grow. So this is World War Z. And I actually did not read this book. I did the audio. My son read this book. We survived the zombie apocalypse, but how many of us are still haunted by that terrible time? We have temporarily defeated the living dead, but at what cost? Told in the haunting and riveting voices of the men and women who witnessed horror firsthand, World War Z is the only record of the plague years. This book is nothing like the movie. This is one of the, but they're both really good. You know, usually if they stray too far for the movie, then the movie sucks. But I will say that I enjoyed both. I really recommend the audio of this because it's a full cast audio. So it's almost like watching, it's almost like listening to a play or something. And this isn't my normal genre. Like, I'm not big on, sci-fi, zombie, fantasy, but I did enjoy this. Oh, this was a New York Times bestseller, USA Today bestseller, Wall Street Journal bestseller. Okay, so that is that. Now, this one, I used to be like a total Harlan Coben fangirl. What's crazy about this one is it's Harlan Coben's Stay Close. And when I read this, I enjoyed it a long time ago. So anyways, I forgot about it. I forgot what it was about. And then me and my fiance were watching a mini series that just came out, Stay Close. It just came out within the past few years. And as I was watching it, I'm like, why does this feel like a book I've read? And then I realized it was this book. I think it's the same name, Harlan Coben, Stay Close. You know, a lot of his books become movies these days. So the past never truly fades away. Megan is a suburban soccer mom who once upon a time walked on the wild side. Ray used to be a talented documentary photographer, but now he finds himself in a dead-end job posing as paparazzo. Broom is a detective who can't let go of a cold case. Three people living lives they never wanted are hiding secrets that even the closest to them would never suspect. And as each confronts the dark side of the American dream, the boredom of a nice suburban life, the excitement of temptation, the desperation and hunger that can lurk behind even the prettiest facades, they will discover the hard truth that a line between one kind of life and another can be as whisper thin as a heartbeat. I don't know what that means, but it is a good book. Harlan Coben's are like very plot driven, and you can just read them in a few days. They're great little like filler thrillers. she'll learn the devastating truth. Sorry, it's kind of hard to read because the book is so beat up. Sometimes it's better not to know. No time for goodbye. Cynthia is that, it's kind of like, okay, so Cynthia is now happily married with a young daughter, a new family, but the story of her old family isn't over. A strange car in the neighborhood, untraceable phone calls, ominous gifts. Someone has returned to her hometown to finish what was started 25 years ago, and no one's innocence is guaranteed, not even her own. By the time Cynthia discovers the killer's shocking identity, it will be too late, even for goodbye. So if you have like a library card or you use Libby, all of these books maybe stay close, maybe not, because it is a show now, but they should be readily available to rent because they're older, and I love finding older books that are ready for me to rent instead of getting on a stupid waiting list that could take weeks to months, you know. Alright, this one, this is crazy. This book is 100 Things You're Not Supposed to Know by Russ Kick. Is that his name? Or I don't know. I've had this book forever, and it is very interesting. Let's just read like some of the stuff. Number 23, police aren't legally obligated to protect you. It was the most shocking thing I learned in law school. People in various states have been unable to successfully sue over the following situations: 911 systems being shut down for maintenance, a known stalker killing someone, police pull over but don't arrest a drunk driver who later runs over somebody that night, a cop known to be violently unstable shoots a driver he pulled over for inadequate muffler, authorities know in advance of a plan to commit murder but do nothing to stop it, parole boards free violent psychotics, including child rapist murderers, when felons escape from prison and kill someone, when houses burn down because the fire department didn't respond promptly, when children are beaten to death in foster homes. Okay. Each month, new warnings are added to the labels of 40 drugs. That does not surprise me at all. Adolf Hitler's blood relatives are alive and well in New York State. 2 atomic bombs were dropped in North Carolina. Condoleezza Rice committed perjury before the 9/11 Commission. During the Cold War, the code to unlock nuclear missiles was 00000000. Oh. The U.S. runs a network of at least 20 secret prisons. Caviar involves extraordinary cruelty. Using sunscreen can cause cancer. I have heard that before. I mean, so cannot. So I don't even know. Head transplants on monkeys have already been performed. Head transplants. So anyways, you get the point. And it's like the sources are in here. You know, I don't know. It's a fun read. Albeit a terrifying read. And I lost the cover to it a long time ago. This one I almost don't want to get rid of because it's such a fun, like you can just pick it up and read like one thing. Smoking causes problems other than lung cancer and heart disease. Yeah, we knew that. I mean, I wonder what year this book was even made in. I don't know. I don't see a date on here. I should, as much, research find the date. Oh, 2003. So we're already like 20 years past when this was printed. Okay, this one. Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. Now, I wanted to read this. I really did. And I still kind of do. But it is nonfiction. And I read another Eric Larson. I read The Sinking of the Lusitania. And I don't know if that wasn't the name of it. It was about that, but I can't remember what the name of it was. And it's just the writing is too dry for me. However, there is a movie coming out of this, and I am overly excited. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, and I cannot remember who else, another big name signed up for it. And I think Leo might have something to do with like even producing or directing it. And it is about, bringing Chicago circa 1893 to vivid life. Eric Larson's spellbinding bestseller intertwines the true tale of two men, the brilliant architect behind the legendary 1983 World's Fair, striving to secure America's place in the world, and the cunning serial killer who used the fair to lure his victims to their death. Combining meticulous research with nail-biting storytelling, Eric Larson has crafted a narrative with all the wonder in the newly discovered history and thrills of the best fiction. So it's supposed to read like fiction. Anyways, it's about this is a true story about in 1893 when the Chicago Fair was going on. This guy designed a hotel that had like secret passages and like a murder dungeon, and he would like lure the guests into like these areas, and then it would like drop them down into his murder dungeon. season one of American Horror Story, or one of the American Horror Stories, is kind of loosely based on that. Oh no, it wouldn't be season one. If it's a hotel, it would be the hotel one. Is the one with Lady Gaga, maybe? Because season one is like the murder house, right? I don't remember. Okay. This one. A man named Dave. This is the third, I believe. If you read A Child Called It, then you know. If you know, you know. Dave was a young boy that was horribly abused by his mother, and his father just pretended it wasn't happening. So this is the third one, because A Child Called It was the first one, and then The Lost Boy was the second, and then this is him as an adult. He did get, spoiler alert, he did get out of his home eventually into foster care. So I think that was like when he was at home, and then this was him in foster care probably, and then this is him as a man. All those years you tried your best to break me, and I'm still here. One day you'll see I'm going to make something of myself. These were These words were Dave Pelzer's declaration of independence to his mother. They represented the ultimate act of self-reliance. The more than 2 million readers of Pelzer's previous international bestsellers, A Child Called It and The Lost Boy, know that he lived to tell his courageous story, but even after he was rescued, his life remained haunted by memories of years as the bruised, cowering It. Desperately trying to make something of his life, Dave was determined to weather every setback and gained strength from adversity. So this book, A Child Called It, a lot of people have read that book, and all of my kids have read it. And I don't think anybody can get through that book without actually crying. I do not cry during books, and I read a lot of books, and I don't cry like that. But then waiting just for her. Trish smiles into the dressing room mirror, admiring herself in the gorgeous white dress. Unknown to her, someone else is watching. He knows she is smiling just for him. His soft voice whispers her name from the crowd. His hooded eyes follow her every move. At first, she thinks he's just a creepy customer hanging around Muffin Mania where she works at the mall. But suddenly, he's everywhere, the man with 1,000 faces tormenting her day and night. He knows her secrets. There's no safe place to hide. There's no one she can tell, no one she can trust. How can she escape a madman willing to kill her, his forevermore? Like, I begged my kids to read this. They're like, I don't want to read that. But come on, it is so good. Someone is shopping for murder. Like, just look at this thing. It is so old. Let's give it a whiff. Yeah, that smells nice. No, I'm not getting rid of this one. Okay, 2 more books. This one is CJ Box, 3 Weeks to Say Goodbye. And it says Jack and Melissa McQuain have spent years trying to have a baby. Finally, their dream has come true with the adoption of their daughter Angelina, but 9 months after bringing her home, they receive a devastating phone call from the adoption agency. Angelina's birth father, a teenager never signed away his parental rights, and he wants her back. Whereas his father, a powerful Denver judge, wants him to own up to this responsibility and will use every advantage his position of power affords him to make sure it happens. When Jack and Melissa attempt to handle the situation rationally by meeting face to face with the father and son, it's immediately apparent that there's something sinister about both of them, and that love for Angelina is not the motivation for their actions. As Angelina's safety hangs in the balance, Jack and Melissa will stop at nothing to protect their child. A horrifying game of intimidation and double crosses begins that quickly becomes a death spiral where absolutely no one is safe. How far would you go to save someone you love? CJ Box has once again written a bone-chilling thriller that will keep you guessing until the very last page. So this one was really good. I remember, it's kind of along the same vein as like the Harlan Cobens and the Linwood Barclays. So another like thriller, suspense, plot-driven book. Alright, last and not least, because this is in like my top 5 books of all time, and it's another zombie book, but it is Fiend, and I wish this was a movie so bad. It's like this matte cover, and the back it's like yellow and pink. It's just a good looking book, you know. This is kind of compared to Cormac McCarthy's writing, but it's way more like, there's a little more personality to this than Cormac McCarthy's writing. This is the real meat, the last zombie novel you'll ever need, says Warren Ellis. Warren Ellis wrote Crooked Little Vein, and I want to read that. So this is zombie, this is addiction fiction, so it's like addiction fiction, sci-fi. There's a little romance in it. Okay. There's more than one kind of monster. When Chase Daniels first sees the little girl in the umbrella print socks tearing open a Rottweiler, he's not too concerned. As a longtime meth addict, he's no stranger to horrifying drug-fueled hallucinations. But as he and his fellow junkies soon discover, the little girl is no illusion. The end of the world has really arrived. The funny thing is, Chase's life was over long before the apocalypse got here. His existence already reduced to a stinking basement apartment and a filthy mattress becoming her hero among civilization's ruins. But is salvation just another pipe dream? Propelled by a blistering first-person voice and featuring a powerfully compelling anti-hero, Fiend is at once a riveting portrait of addiction, a pitch-black love story, and a meditation on hope, redemption, and delusion, not to mention one hell of a zombie novel. If you read one book from these, if you can handle, like, you know, addiction fiction and gore. My friend Paul was supposed to pick this up because he came over to drop off my daughter's gecko. She got a gecko. And he was supposed to take this book and he forgot it. So, I already bought another copy because I could not find this one, so. So, that is that. That was my ASMR book chat. And I need to go take a shower and hit the hay.